It's you and me.
Let's go! With each passing day, it grew less and less unusual having Giselle always at my side. I began more freely engaging in silliness, speaking my mind, and showing emotion. I could say her name, and Giselle would turn around and smile at me, an unimaginable sight not long ago. For 10 years I had lived alone. Solitude had been my normal. But that was very rapidly changing at her hands. We were continually getting closer, yes, but not in a romantic sense.
Oh.
If I had to describe it, I would say good friends was probably the most apt.
That's good. You know, not everything has to be romantic.
I mean, I think it's good. Probably would have again, but like it's good to start as friends is what I'm thinking.
Always, yeah.
Time continued to press on, our relationship remaining relatively stable. Eventually, summer came, bringing with it the longest periods of sunlight I had ever experienced in many years. Then the leaves began falling from the trees, and before long, the world grew cold and dreary.
Cuddle season.
That winter, the fireplace was never without a crackling blaze in its belly. The boiled wine we drank was undoubtedly middling and cheap.
Okay, so he did warm it up for her.
He did warm it up for her. Good to know. It wasn't a ghost. It wasn't Morgana. But she said with a smile, "I've never had wine this good before." And though I didn't say anything, I felt the same way. The sun set much earlier, and having stopped using candles, we found ourselves habitually gathering around the fireplace when it grew dark. I love how it's a pain, but a happy pain, but like,
Stop, because I get a nauseating feeling that the villagers are gonna come back.
Yeah.
Look how awkward he is. Look how he's holding that book like, oh, this is how to hold, right?
He's like, I don't want to touch her hand, but it's like,
oh, so gentle. Reading a story by the fireplace like this almost makes it feel like we're in another world, doesn't it, Master? I bet that's why troubadours perform at pubs, so they can be near the fire.
Or because there's ale.
Killjoy.
Drunkenness makes even bad singing and storytelling pleasant to the ears.
Oh, you're such a cynic. But that's okay. Say,
Yes.
do you remember when I first arrived here? When I was cleaning the library?
Please don't tell me you're bringing the obese rat incident back up.
No, not that. Before that. Before we could actually talk to each other. I believe that you suggested we read something together, if you ever felt the inclination.
You might have. I can't say I remember.
Are you sure about that? You turned down my proposal, saying I was wasting my time. But look, it actually happened. Even if you don't remember, I'm sure you never thought this moment would come. I was, for the most part, focused on making sure things didn't get any worse between us. But to be honest, I didn't expect there would ever actually come a time we would sit shoulder to shoulder and read a book. You never know how things might pan out.
I actually do remember. I remember how I tried to push her away, how much I mistreated her. I was nothing but hostile towards her. People change. And perhaps, if they can, so can the future. Maybe I can hope that, like our friendship, there's a chance the future might take a turn for the better.
I want them to hug.
I want them.
Is something the matter?
I don't care much for hypotheticals, but if by some chance I were someday to be able to return to that house, should that time come, That house is a home to her nightmares. Even if it didn't happen until after my father was gone, it wouldn't erase what he had done to her there. She acts like nothing's wrong, though. I don't know. Have her wounds healed, or do they still remain?
Should that time come?
Should that time come, if that day comes, I will do what I can to ensure you have a comfortable life in the city. Though, I will not be able to inherit the estate. I can work something out.
I see. Thank you very much.
But if you would be comfortable doing so, I would be pleased if you were to join me.
Aww.
I mean, as a servant.
As a servant.
Yes, as a servant. We're, short on hands.
I see. A servant.
Do I really need to repeat myself? Yes, as a servant.
Alright. Sure. I think I will. I would like to accompany you, Master. How exciting. I'm sure a wonderful future awaits us.
I pray so.
Now, back to the story. I believe we had just gotten to the point where the knight set out to defeat the monster and save the princess. I bet he was a big, buff, muscular knight.
Let's not talk about how muscular he was.
Oh.
She let out a gentle laugh, and I thought I smelled something sweet on her breath. Was it her scent? Or perhaps just my imagination? I had no way of knowing. We sat so close, even the slightest shift seemed sufficient to allow me to hear the sound of her heartbeat, causing mine to accelerate. Curiosities flooded my mind. What might she be thinking right now? What does she think about me? And as much as I tried to banish them, I frustratingly failed. I was just getting caught up in the moment. I had just briefly lost my way. Though I tried to convince myself otherwise. It was all in vain. When had my pulse gotten so rapid? When had my skin gotten so flushed? When, how, why was this happening to me? I thought I had already learned my lesson. About having feelings for someone else.
God dang it, who hurt him?
Who hurt him? I want to know. I'm gonna beat him up with Giselle. Giselle's like our lead woman right here, and
yes.
she's manning the army, but we are right there behind her. By golly, we are.
Her left and right hands.
Yes.
Rated E for everyone, sorry.
Before long, winter retreated, and our second spring came to take its place.
A whole year.
A full year has passed since we had resumed living together. And I don't think it was my imagination that this year felt so much warmer than the last. Spring seemed to have arrived a bit earlier than in previous years. One night, when the breeze carried on its pleasant residual of warmth, Giselle escorted me out to the garden.
Come on, Master. Hurry up.
It's the middle of the night. What's so important?
I just found it myself. And I couldn't wait until morning. A rose! It blossomed!
A rose?
Oh.
Giselle had, over the past year, cleaned the nest of weeds that had been strangling the garden. Off to the side of the small plot of turned soil, swayed in the wind beneath the moonlight, was a single red rose. I'm thinking back, of the rose garden. Was it a single white rose that Elle found?
Yeah, and then it turned
It turned red. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if that has anything to do
You know,
with
what if all of these stories aren't true and they're just stories, like they
Yeah.
were saying from the maid? and her memories were leaking into all of them.
It could be, because, like, this low-key is giving me some bestia memories, like, of how they had a relationship, how they had a friendship. But it wasn't, like, a sexual relationship,
No,
pretty much,
it was-
or no,
it was,
romantical.
It's a mutual friendship.
Yeah. And then... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Let's just see.
When did you...
Last year, I requested flower seeds.
Oh, that was the secret!
But I just couldn't get them to grow, and I was starting to think they never would. But look, it's only one, but it did.
I had no idea.
Of course you didn't. I didn't tell you.
Sorry. Oh. Why would you keep it from me?
I wanted to make it a gift for you, Master.
What? Why?
Roses make wonderful gifts, supposedly.
No. That's not what I meant. Why me? I haven't given you anything.
Consider it a symbol of my hope that we'll still be this close another year from now. If we are, then this is yours.
I don't follow her reasoning. I don't follow it at all, but... The sight of the deep red rose, almost melting in the dark night, was perhaps the most wonderful thing I had ever seen in my life. I had never understood why some people found flowers so enchanting. They were always just plants to me. But that one, on that night, was undeniably beautiful, majestic. And like a young child seeing a flower for the very first time, my hand automatically reached out for it. Not knowing the proper way to appreciate flowers, I didn't gently caress its petals or take in its fragrance, but snapped its stem.
Jeez, manhandling it much?
She's the one with the arm strength.
Oh, you picked it? Are you going to bring it back to your room?
Oh, jeez.
She is my life.
When I finally processed her question, that was when I realized I probably should have left it to grow in the garden. From the base of its stem, where I had plucked it, a droplet succumbed to gravity and fell to the earth. With it came a delayed realization that I ended the plant's life. But it was overpowered by childish possessiveness. This stunning flower was mine.
He's so cute.
I know. Moonlight trickled down from the heavens, giving a gentle bluish tint to my hands and the smile on her face.
You're going to need a vase then. Just give me a minute.
For the briefest moment, the moonlight must have played a trick on my mind.
It's the same! It's the same thing! It's
I don't trust. I want out. Goodbye.
Save it quick here. This is the end of their story.
This
They
is
lived
the end.
happily
This
ever
is
after.
it. This right here. This is it. Right here. Right here. This is the beautiful scene that we end with.
Alright. See you next time.
Bye, guys. Oh, gosh. Okay. You know, sorry. I'm so sorry. I just cut
No,
you
good.
off. I'm just. It's talking about hope, and I'm gonna. I know the destruction's coming, but now that he has made her reclaim the memories and everything, maybe now they can live their happily ever after again that they always
Somewhere,
wanted.
yeah, within this
I
weird
have-
state we're in.
Yeah.
There might be hope.
I think so.
Even
I
if
hope
this... Oh, look at her. Look at him. Look at the flower.
Oh, it's so beautiful. So it looks better on Giselle than Elle. Sorry, Elle.
She's not real. That's what I've gathered. She was never real.
She was never real. She was what the maid always wanted to be. Yeah.
I don't... Honestly, the other stories still confuse me as to how it relates to this now.
I still think it's just stories that have her trickled memories in it.
Huh?
Master?
Oh, what am I... Yeah, I just got so stunned.
We're all stunned.
Oh, what on earth am I doing? A look of bewilderment filled Giselle's face, just inches from mine, which hammered in reality of what I had just done. The thought had just crossed my mind that perhaps her black hair might prove a good backdrop for the rose.
Shut up, you're...
But it was... But it was supposed to remain a simple fancy.
What was that about?
An excuse. I need a good excuse. A drawing.
A drawing?
Right. I would like to preserve it on canvas.
What? What?
I mean, that rose, it's, the rose on its own does not make a good, compelling picture, so I would like to include you as an accessory.
Shut up. Wait, you want to draw me too?
Merely as a background element. You're slightly more interesting than a vase, that's all.
I've never seen you draw anything before.
I just never got the urge.
Oh, this is too cute.
This is too cute.
You know how?
Many years ago, my brother taught me.
I don't think I can handle being a model. I've never had a drawing done of me before. You would probably be better off with just the rose.
You gave it to me, didn't you? That means I am free to do with it as I please.
I did.
I didn't mean to sound rude. I had no real interest in drawing the rose, but I couldn't just take it back either.
He is fumbling.
Giselle had shrunk back quite visibly, and I couldn't bring myself to look at her in the eyes. So I fled to the cellar in search of supplies to escape the oppressive awkwardness.
Hey, I'm gonna draw you.
Runs away. Bye! At the far wall, I found a rectangular panel of wood and several sticks of charcoal. My materials were obviously nothing compared to what a court artist might use. But I was clearly not going to be able to do the portrait any kind of justice. Gosh, what am I doing? I want to bury my head in the sand. He wants to be an ostrich. Sorry.
Giselle, I'm gonna paint you. What? Master, what are you doing? I'm an ostrich, Giselle.
That's too funny. Oh, no. Giselle was waiting for me in the stained glass chamber. It seemed she was still just as uncomfortable as when I had left her. She gave me a fleeting glance before averting her gaze again. If only she could laugh or make a scene like usual, it would make things so much easier.
Well, then make her laugh, funny boy.
It's your time to shine, bud. Why did she have to choose now to start acting meek?
I love her. What should I be doing?
Stay perfectly still, please.
Do you need me to pose or anything?
No, just get comfortable. Look away.
Why?
It's hard to work when you're watching me. What?
I feel like I have to sneeze.
Uh-oh. Hold it in, please. What now?
Can I see it?
I've barely drawn anything yet.
He's just drawn the circle.
I mean, that would be me because I can't draw,
Oh,
but... As long as our eyes didn't meet, I was able to observe her.
He's just been staring the whole time. There's nothing on the canvas.
And my gaze was quite clearly not focused on the rose, but Giselle. At first, I had regretted my in-the-moment proposition, but I was beginning to think it hadn't been such a bad idea. Without some sort of pretext, I could never have been able to examine her so intently. I didn't have that kind of courage. This isn't like me. But what was like me? Did I prefer being sharp-tongued, unapproachable recluse? Was that what I wanted to strive for? Giselle was like a gale. Her mere presence dispersed that gloomy cloud that always hovered around me. Thinking about it, it's practically a miracle that we ever ended up so comfortable around each other, that she's still here right now. Light from the moon spilled through the stained glass window, taking on a multitude of pale tones before falling on her white skin and jade eyes. I had stopped sketching at some point.
What in the world was going on? One of my roses had finally bloomed, which I thought would put a smile on Michelle's face. But rather than improve his mood, it made him go all strange. I made him say he wanted to draw something. I had never seen Michelle draw anything before. I can't sit still. I tried to sneak peeks of him every once in a while, but anytime our eyes met, he gave me a stern, look that way stare. So I ended up spending a whole lot of time looking at the archangel in the stained glass window. What could he be thinking? Could this be thanks for the rose? I'm pretty sure he's not the type who would consider drawing an expression of gratitude, though. If I'm wrong about that, it'll turn my whole world upside down. Maybe he wanted to draw me. No, not possible. That would turn the world upside down even faster.
Oh.
He couldn't. We're close, to be sure, but we're not that kind of close. It makes it sound like Michelle's attracted to me. And there's no way. There's absolutely no way. He compares me to an obese rat and calls me an amateur at chess, laughing while he crushes me.
Oh no.
So that's not what this is it? Huh? Oh, yes?
If it's too much trouble, you're free to leave. This will take a very long time to complete.
Oh, no trouble.
You had a very stern look on your face is all.
I was doing that bad of a job at hiding it?
I don't want to force you to do anything you don't want. It was foolish of me to ask of you. I'm sorry.
Honestly, it's no trouble. I mean it. You just took me by surprise, that's all.
I'm not even that great of an artist to begin with. That's not a talent I was blessed with. No, actually, according to Jade, it takes a lot of practice, not just you're blessed with talent.
Yeah, sobbing in my pencils.
Sobbing with your colors. If I'm being honest with myself, I can't imagine anyone would be pleased to have a bad art drawn of them.
Oh, what? What's he getting so negative about? I wasn't the only one making a face. His head was turned slightly downward, a forlorn shimmer in his eyes. Is he crying?
He's sad he can't draw the picture right.
That's so cute. I had never seen him make that face before. He resembled a child who had just been scorned by his mother.
Aww.
I wasn't at all angry or displeased with him. I was just fine, honestly. I had to get that through to him. I am pleased. It doesn't matter how it turns out. You drew it for me, Master. Whether it's good or bad is irrelevant. But the moonlight shining through the stained window was so enchanting. I lost myself in it. I would be happy with anything drawn for me by the man I love.
Whoa!
My
Whoa!
heart!
Happy tears now, happy tears. Yay!
For an instant, time froze. By the time I realized what I had said, my mind had gone blank, and I couldn't form a coherent thought. I mean, like, you know, like family. You're like an older brother to me. I meant love, like the love for a brother. Hey, say something, Master. Give me your usual exasperated sigh. Come on now. Go on, give me your best good grief, and then hurl me out the window. Oh, come on, please. Show me some disappointment. Master?
Oh.
When the wood panel he was using as a canvas and the charcoal in his hand crushed to the hard chapel floor, the clattering was so loud I jumped. I didn't have the presence of mind to wonder why he knocked over the canvas, or why his hands appeared to be shaking. Let me help you with that.
Oh no, it's because he has a fear of loving. Oh no.
How did he find a lover if he's been alone since he was a kid? Unless I'm just misreading.
I think it's just like love for the family is what I assume, but like,
Maybe,
you know, I don't really know because we don't know his past yet, but I'm sure we'll find out now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I stepped towards him. And when I did, see you next video.
See you next video. Sorry, talk about cliffhangers, dang, but like it just keeps going. Oh, this song is cute. Hey, you! Yeah, you! Did you like the video?
Maybe consider subscribing. We like your company.
Okay.
See you
My
next
stomach.
video.